Hey everyone, it's Larry here at LC Model Shipbuilding, and this episode we're finishing up the Superstructure and getting that all together. We do the mast, we do the radar, basically getting everything kind of assembled on there. In the video I don't show painting the stripes. I ended up doing that afterwards, but they're done and it all turned out pretty darn good. So yeah, we're gonna start on this, and then next video after this looks like it's gonna be the armament starting. I was gonna do the catapult, and I think I say that in the video, but I'm gonna hold on that until I'm ready to actually put down all of the actual superstructure onto the deck. So yeah, I'm gonna start with the armaments after this video. So thanks for watching, and let's get started. Okay, so I painted up our lifeboats, or not lifeboats, but the boats. So the black is painted on them, letting them dry a minute. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and put the ship's bell together. This is actually something I had meant to do on the last video, but it did not happen. So first off, you have this little tiny hook here, and I painted that already. And that gets glued onto the very top of the bell here. There's a really tiny little hole. So, of course, it doesn't want to stay. My fingers got painted black. Alright, there we go. So, that just kind of sits right on there. Because I don't exactly trust that, I'm gonna run some glue down into the bell to kind of hold that a little bit better. And hopefully not glue it to my finger. But yeah, we seem to be okay. Okay, then we have this little hook here, and the bell has a hook on it also, and it just hangs on it kind of like a shepherd's hook would. But our hook fell down in here. So I'm going to let that set up a little bit longer. But yeah, basically then you just hang it from that little hook that is very miniature, and then you put it down on your deck. So we're going to let that set up a little bit. I'm going to get these boats unwrapped and see how they turned out. So far, so good. Happy with that one. And that one as well. So these are the ones that sit right on top of the hangar deck, just or the hangar building, just so you can kind of place where they're at and what they're for. Good. And looks like everything came out good. Perfect. So we're going to go back to our sheet of PE, and I'm going to clear coat this a minute so it doesn't get scratched up from dealing with it, because I did not clear this one. So let me do that, let it dry, and I'll be back. Okay, so I got the bell on there with the hook. You can kind of see that. And it just hangs. So it can move and all that good stuff. Now, I gotta look, because I think the bell's supposed to be brass, but for some strange reason, it is aluminum. So, I might have to paint it, but I'll figure that out as we go. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get it mounted into its location on the ship here. So, it's not a real big piece, obviously, but it goes that way. So wanted to make sure I had it in the right orientation. All right, there we go. So the bell's on. All right, next up, there is also, I do believe, a small, not tripod, but two pieces that go on the front of the bell here to hold the pole up. I guess you'd call it a pole. The thing that holds the bell. Okay, there we go. So, next up is going to be the boats. Like I said, I already pulled the paint off on them. We're pretty much ready to go with them. I painted or not painted, but I clear coated the brass, so that's ready to go. I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting these all out to get them ready, and then I'll start assembling them. I probably won't do much video of the assembly of these, since I covered pretty much the exact same thing in a previous video, but they're extremely similar. So I'll get these put together and done, and then we'll pick up probably when it comes time to install them onto the hangar house. And yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. So I'll be back, and we'll get these installed and see how that looks. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back. Okay, so these are a little bit different, so I will kind of go over it a minute. So these have a cab type part here for you know, them to be inside. And what has to happen with these, this gets glued down on top of this. So I haven't done it yet, so I'm going to see how this goes, because usually I kind of try them out first, but I pretty much see what's going on here. So that sits just like that, and then we go and we put our steering wheel in, and that just goes on the little dashboard spot there, similar to the previous boats. And I'm just going to build one right now. So I'm going to keep that steering wheel brass, even though I doubt it probably was brass, but whatever. You won't even be able to see it anyway, so it is what it is. So we're going to put that right there, and then we're going to put this down on top of this. So that just sits right on top of there, and we're going to glue that down quick. And it has these mounting points right here. So there we go. So now I need to take our cab, and we're going to put that right on top of the boat there. Right in here. Oops. It's spinning out on me. Okay. Well, in order to get this to stick before I go farther, I'm going to use some accelerator, because apparently that doesn't want to be done or stay. Okay, that's better. So now we're going to try to put the cab back down again, so that it doesn't dance away on us like it was there. Okay, and next we can go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put the boat down, or the deck down into the boat here. You gotta fold down these little tabs, which are basically mounting points for it. Okay, and we're gonna put some glue around here. Okay, and we basically just drop it in. Now, I know I have a couple little glue marks, but they'll get covered up when I hit this again with a coat of dull coat. And then we finally have the canopy piece that goes on top of it. So I'm going to get these cut out quick, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I started doing the next section of parts, getting them ready. I need to put a lot of rungs on this one and this one for our observation units, or whatever these are, rangefinders, I can't think of the name. And then I'm working on our next radar, which is number 4. So this one has a mast on it that comes with the KA kit, and it doesn't even fit in there, so I'm gonna have to drill that out just a little bit. But it has some other PE pieces that go on it. So this is very similar to the larger mast, and we're actually going to do the other mast too here shortly. The main mast, and put that together after we get this one done, because that's what I plan on working on while the paint dries for the pieces that I just showed you there. So just like what we did before here, this little collar here goes around the mast, and sorry, the directions are kind of down here. So it goes around here, and then the cross part here gets slipped through, and it still feels quite loose, so I'm going to tighten that up, and then I'm going to hit it with some glue just to make sure it stays intact. But as you can see, it is not on its own going to do that for me. Which I kind of assumed. So we will do some glue and fix that. Okay. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on to this piece. I'm going to hit it with some accelerator just to get it to set up quick so it stays. Then we're going to pass this back through, and we'll also give that some glue. And I'm going to also hit that with accelerator just to keep it where I need it. Okay, now we have a ladder. Actually, we're going to do piece 32 first, which seems to be like a trim piece around the bottom there. Doo-doo-doo. And this simply wraps around it. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to set the ladder part on the front here. And hopefully let it set for a second. Need more glue. I had a feeling I didn't put enough on it. Okay, so that's gonna sit right there. Okay, and I'll do accelerator on that just to get it hardened up a little. And now we're just going to wrap it around here like so. Okay, that worked. And we just got to put some glue at the very end of it. And then we'll do the same thing with the accelerator just to get it there and held. Okay, perfect. Okay, next up we have our little, I don't even know what you call it, but it hangs down there. Can't call it a mast because the mast is obviously the whole unit. Oh, we have a ladder it has to go on first, so that's piece number 3, which is this one. So we'll put the ladder on, and then we'll put the other part on there that I just cut out. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, so it's a little bit longer than it should be, which is a little odd, but we're going to cut it down to fit. Hopefully. Okay, beautiful. And then we got this. So, sorry, I'm dipping in glue off to the side. I know you can't really see it. There we go. Wonderful. Okay, so now I need to drill out this just a tiny touch more. And ideally the size of the window holes should work perfectly fine looking at it. Oh, perfect. Maybe a little bit more. Nope, that's perfect. Beautiful. All right, so there's that. Next I got to do the radar dish, which is similar to what I've done before, but I'm also going to go ahead and start the, what do you call it, the ladder rungs here. So I'm actually probably going to do that before I build the radar dish. And this actually has a lot of little PE pieces that go on this as well. So I hate doing these rungs, but it's one of those deals where I can't really move on until they're done. So I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and do them. And no matter what you do with these, they are a pain. I've found that having something white underneath it is helpful, so you can at least see your mounting points, or not mounting points, but your sprue pieces. And just start to cut out. I try to do 5 at a time, because if I do 5 focused and then I step away from this and do something else for a minute towards the build, I seem to remain more focused and better at it. So yeah, see, like that one didn't come off. Okay, so we got 5. All right, so this has 1, 2, 3, 4 on it on each side. So we'll see if I am feeling froggy here and I get more than 5 done, or if I have to break from these and then come back to it. The hardest part I find with these is keeping your hand steady enough so that it doesn't dip into the glue and then stick to the rung. Because once you do that, you got a bigger mess and it doesn't want to come off. Yeah. I absolutely hate these rungs. I actually considered just putting a ladder on the side, which may end up happening at some point, but I did do the rungs on other parts already, and they are a nice detail. They're just not any kind of fun. So I'm going to put this one on and then I'll pause it. Now I know some people would have sanded down the Trumpeter printing on there, but I chose not to, just because it's going to give me a kind of a guide, and the rung seems to make enough detail that you're not really going to notice anyway, so that's kind of why I didn't, especially once it's painted. Not enough blue. Alright, I'm going to pause it right now and I'll be back. Okay, so I went ahead and got all of it on. So I got my little rungs on there. I got my little rungs on this side. And the little trim ring that goes around here. And these and the ladders up on the front. So this piece is pretty much ready to paint. I'm going to go ahead and put my rungs on these two and get them ready to paint, and then we're going to do our mast. So be right back. Okay, so these parts are all ready to go. You can see my step rungs are on and my mast is on. So now I'm going to go ahead and start the main mast, and this is almost like a kit in itself when it comes down to it. Just looking at what is here. So I don't know if I'll film the whole entire thing because I don't know how long this will take. So I'll kind of meter it as I'm going. So we're going to need to get the pieces out as we're going here. So this is that. Then this here is our top mast, and that will go basically into this. So it appears that I'm going to probably have to potentially, I don't know, I was going to say I'm going to have to bend it out, but or drill it out, but it seems to be going on its own pretty good here. It wasn't machined down quite enough to allow this to go all the way in, so I'm going to have to probably try to hold this and drill it out a little bit more. And it is brass, so it's a fairly soft metal. Let's see if that did what I need. Better, but not quite. There we go. So I'm not even going to bother trying to pull this back out to glue it because it's not going to come out. Alright, there we go. We're in. So that's step one. Now we need to do a collar around it and a ladder, and then it's going to get a couple of those mast pieces. So in the interest of the fact that I've already done this on previous videos and whatnot, I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead, not skip ahead, but pause it while I continue to put these pieces together, and then I'll pick it back up as we're going. So I'll be back. Okay, so this is the upper part of the mast, and as you can see, this thing has a lot going on. There's a lot of pieces to it. There's a lot of little things that happened with it. The directions are actually quite clear on this compared to the rest of the KA set, so it's not hard per se, it's just very tedious in putting it together. So I got the bottom portion yet to go here, so I'm going to start that right now, which this has basically the crow's nest on it, and that looks like it might be a gun box, and then the crow's nest down here. But regardless, that uses this piece to start. So we're basically going to first take the ladder that goes on here, which is piece number 1. I'm going to glue that onto the rod here, and then I'll start to assemble the actual crow's nest or shooting box, whatever that is, and basically just start to follow the instructions to assemble it as I'm going here. Like I said, not overly challenging, but very tedious, just with how small the pieces are and how fragile they are. So, tweezers. So first I'm going to get some glue here, and I won't film this whole thing because this will take a while, I'm pretty sure. Come down just a little bit to give room for that box to be up there, but that essentially gives us our ladder up, and we're going to put a tiny bit more glue down on the bottom here where I was holding it, just to get that set. For this mast, if you build it, I definitely recommend not starting it unless you have a fresh can of adhesive promoter, because it's just a lot of pieces that have to go just right. And to do that, you almost can't risk just holding it, because it will not set up how you need it to. So just a FYI. Okay, so this box essentially gets bent into shape. So we go boom, we go boom, now, something like this, I generally find that a dab of glue at the corners in the bottom there is what is best to hold it. Okay, there we go. Now, this gets glued onto here, which I'm honestly thinking the best course of action is to bring down the piece that goes through it, which barely wants to fit through, but it does. Okay. So I'm going to put a dab of glue on the bottom of that. My glue broke on the base there. Okay, so the mast is painted black on top, gray on bottom, and the dish, radar dish, whatever you want to call it, radar screen is painted. And then we got all these parts painted. So we're going to go ahead and assemble these and then wrap up this video. So first up, I'm going to pop that out and put some glue down on it, in it, whatever you want to say, to get that on there permanently. Okay, so there we go with that, and I think I want to turn it actually. Yeah, I do. Bingo. All right, now we're going to go ahead and put the radar screen on, and that, just like the other one, just goes basically right on there like that. So we're going to get some glue onto the mounting point here, and I'm going a little bit heavy on purpose, just because I had minor difficulty with the last one sticking on the radar 2 and 3, or 1 and 2, whatever number they were, I don't remember. So we'll get this on. There we go. And then we'll pick up our pieces of deck to go ahead and start getting them, to get the stuff assembled onto them, sorry. And the little spot there that folds up is bumping on, there we go, that's what I wanted. So I'm going to use some spray here in a second, I do believe, just to get this set. Okay. That's angled a little bit more than I want it to be, but I will fix that after it sets. So now we're going to glue our base on. Just off angle and I don't want to damage it. Still off. I have a feeling the paint is too thick and it is causing this to be just slightly bigger than it should be. we're going to scrape a little bit off the mount point. And this would make sense because I did do 2 coats of clear on it as well. So I think there's 3 coats of paint and 2 coats of clear. But this should fix it. So now hopefully we fit in. Yeah, it will. If I get it on there straight. Cool. Okay, we're on. So that's ready to go onto the ship. And then we have this platform here. And this gets glued onto there, like that. So put that on. I think I want to hit that with a little bit more gray. I'm not happy with how the front turned out. Okay, then we have our that actually needs more gray too. I'm going to respray a couple of these pieces before I go forward with them to actually mount them. I guess the lighting was a little bit off, but in the meantime I can put the mast on. So the mast goes into that little hole down there that isn't really a hole, so I may have to drill that out. I'll know in a minute here. Nope. Okay, so that fits how it's supposed to. I do want to check my spots where these pipes connect to, and I gotta touch up the glue on the crow's nest there. No biggie. So our radar tower, that goes here, so we'll put that on real quick. I really did consider making these rotate, but that just was going to be another whole process with motors and weight and all that kind of stuff that I really didn't want to get into after I really started thinking about it. So it is what it is. I'm happy anyway. So I'm going to respray these and then we'll come back to you. Oh, I got to glue this mast. There we go. I'm gonna have to fix this off camera here. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so I went ahead and put this platform on, and that is up. I painted all the rafts too, got them done. I think the color's pretty good. I used a, what is this? Yellow zinc chromate, so from Mission Models. I don't know, I kind of like it. I think it hits the color just about right. We just got these two rangefinders to put on, and then we're pretty much going to wrap up the video. So from here, looking ahead at the directions, the next video I can tell you will be the catapult for the planes, and we'll get that installed, and then from there we'll probably be into some armament at that point. So we're moving right along here. This build has actually taken me much less time than I really ever anticipated. I still got to put the motors in, which that'll be a video in itself, but we got the motors, and then we got the parts that go on the main deck, because we skipped all that in the beginning. But yeah, we're definitely rocking along here. So there we go. That is our rear superstructure section. The only other thing that really would have to go on to this is the railings and the ladders and such, but like I said, I want to keep them until we're a little bit closer to finally putting everything together 100%. So yeah, like I said, next video is probably going to be our catapult, and I might start the main guns. Actually, I probably won't do the main guns first. I'll probably do these guns and then work my way through. I'm going to do the larger guns first and work my way into the smaller guns. That's kind of my thought process on this anyway. So, all right, well, thank you very much for watching. Please give a like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time here on LC Model Shipbuilding.